Welcome back. Here I am on my content page, I believe. Yes, content page. And on here, as said, I'm going to insert some videos and some audio. But before I insert the audio, let me go back to my audio recording, which was done in Audacity, this free program, Audacity. Let me just bring that up on Google Chrome, actually. Let me go back to Chrome. Where's Chrome? Chrome. Here. Audacity, Audacity, completely free program that you can use on your PC to record audio and edit it as well. If you prefer to use your phone, that's perfectly fine. You can export the files in most of the same formats that you can on here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make my website bad first, not very well optimized. But before I even do that, let me highlight this. So double click on it and I'm going to amplify this audio. It doesn't sound as loud as I need it to. So let me just play a short snippet. Well, hello guys, welcome back. This is, yeah, not loud enough. Highlight it, go to Effect, go to Amplify. Just gonna drag this up a bit, not too much. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Click on that one. Yep, that should be more than loud enough. Well, hello guys, welcome. Yeah, that's fine. And then from here, I'm gonna export this as a WAV file, WAV, and I'm gonna export as MP3 later on. Now, the reason I'm going to do Wave now is so that when I come to get feedback from people and I come to optimize my website, I'm going to change the Wave file to MP3 because Wave is a lot larger. Let me just go to File. Let me go to Export. Let me go to Wave. And let me just show you what this will look like. So let me go down to Desktop Unit 6, GTA website, audio. Let's just call this Podcast 1. All right, this is a WAV file, and I'm going to do podcast 2 as well. Just click OK. That's exported. File, export, MP3. And I'm going to do the highest quality MP3, which is 320 kilobits per second. And I'm going to call this one podcast 2. Well, podcast 1. Oh, no. Podcast 1. That needs to be MP3. Oh, it's the same name. Sorry, that's why. So podcast 1A, right? Save. Okay. That's exported. Now I'm going to go to that location and just show you the file difference, the difference in file size. So if I go to audio, this is the WAV file, 15.1 megabytes. And the same audio in MP3 format is 3.4 megabytes. Let's just round this down. Let's say that's 15 megabytes. That's 3 megabytes. The WAV file is 5 times larger. So when loading this on a website, it's going to use a lot more data to load. So the website is going to move slower. Now, for what we're doing here, it's not going to be noticeable to us. But let's say you have a website with hundreds or dozens of audio files on the website. You ideally want to have it in a lower quality MP3 format so it loads quicker, right? So I'm going to go ahead and insert the WAV file onto my website. Here on my website again, and what I'm going to do is just get rid of this. Let's maybe call this section podcast. Oh, it's not typing. One sec. Let's get rid of this. Oh, highlighted too much. Podcast 1. And what I'm going to insert in here is that audio file I just created. So I'm going to go to Insert. I'm going to insert the WAV file specifically. I'm going to go down to HTML. And I'm going to go to where it says plugin, somewhere down here. Here we go. It's going to bring up the browse window as soon as I click on this. So again, you need to click next. So it's inside of the box. So inside of the table, it's going to come up with this browse window. Go to wherever you saved your file. For me, it's going to be audio. And again, I'm going to choose the WAV file. This should work fine. If it doesn't, then you might just need to use MP3 one. There are a few settings I want to change straight away. So I've gone into split view. Now you can do this from the properties menu as well, but I wanted to do it from split view instead. I need to change the width and the height so that I can see the player itself. So this is just a very squashed version of what should be there. So I'm going to put the width at about 200. Seems excessive, but that's fine. And the height I'm going to put at about, let's put 100 to see what that looks like. Yeah, I can see all the player stuff there at 100. So maybe 75 might be okay. 200 might be a bit small. So let's bring that up to 300 maybe. And then let's bring this. Yeah, that should be all right. I can see everything there. Let's put this back to 100. And that seems fine. Now, the last thing you might need to do is to turn autoplay off. Autoplay being on means that As soon as you bring this audio in, it's going to start playing, and there's nothing you can do to stop the website from stop playing it other than clicking pause. Ideally, allow the person to allow the person to click play so that they can play what they want. After doing some quick Googling, I found an audio HTML tag on the W3 Schools website, a very, very good website for for almost anything you want to do programming wise. Now, when you scroll down, I am going to choose this one down here that says audio control autoplay, and I'm going to put the source. The source is going to be the name of your actual file. So for me, it's going to be podcast1.wave. Where it says audio here, I'm going to change the end thing that says, oh, let me zoom in. Change that end part that says OGG. I'm going to change it to WAV for wave, and I'm going to simply delete that second line because I don't really need it. Quickly before I insert that though, where it says audio controls autoplay muted, I'm going to keep controls because I wanted to see the play, pause, skip, mute, and all of that stuff. I'm going to leave autoplay off because I do not want the audio to start playing as soon as the website loads. Again, leave this off, leave it out. Don't put this in if you want the audio to not play, which is ideally what we want. Maybe don't put muted. I don't think that's really important. I think the main thing you need to put is audio and then put control so people can actually start playing, pausing, reducing the volume, and all of the audio stuff that you can do with the website typically. So I've already copied it into my Dreamweaver. This is how I've done it. I'll try and zoom in on this section. Audio controls, I'm going to remove autoplay. You know what, let me just leave muted. Might as well leave it as an extra feature. So, but again, if you do not want it to be muted originally, take this off. I've put my audio podcast1.wave file and I've changed where it says OGG at the end to WAV. Now on the website, on the W3 School website, it gives you all the compatible formats of audio that you can play. And it's WAV, MP3, and OGG. Those are the file formats. And all I have to do now, I have both of them there still, but I'm going to see which one I like more. I might leave the one that looks ugly there first and then use this one as the good looking one after when I optimize my website again. So I'm going to go to File, Real-Time Preview, Google Chrome, choose Yes if you want to save. Here it is loaded onto the website. Now this one, I'm going to click play on this one first. This is the original one. This is the plugin way. Testing, microphone working. Yep. That works perfectly fine. I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I already like how this one looks a lot more. Remember, it's muted, so I'm going to click on mute here. This is going to be a podcast on it. Works perfectly fine. I might remove the muted thing, but again, I would leave that for a comment for someone to add, because when you click on it, you would assume that it would just start playing. You wouldn't assume that you would have to go and click on mute as well. But again, optimization, making the website better, later on getting comments from people. That's another thing that someone could comment about. This is again not the, I shouldn't be telling you guys this, right? You should just do your coursework and that's it. However, being realistic, BTEC wants to see Pearson, the company that owns BTEC or vice versa, they want to see evidence of things being improved. They want to see where people have made comments. They want to see where you've handed your website to someone else for them to test it and they come back and said, oh, maybe you should improve this. Maybe you should do that. And then you're going to say, okay, from the 10 comments I've gotten, right? I'm going to choose, I don't know, 5 or 6 out of the 10 comments I've gotten, and I'm going to make those actual changes. And then you're going to have to show those changes being made in the newer version of the website, version 2, let's say. And then that's how you get your grades, right? So that's why I'm telling you this, because I want you guys to get the maximum amount of grades, which obviously is a distinction. And this is how you would get it, by evidencing everything from start to finish. What's next? Okay, so I'm going to go back to my Dreamweaver now. Let's see what is next. Dreamweaver. I'm going to get rid of this one first. So let me highlight this and turn it into a comment. So it's all blurred out. It's gone from here. I'm going to leave this one. And what I'm going to do is insert podcast 2 just underneath this one at some point. Then I'm going to insert a video as well, just one video. And again, the main purpose of me doing this is just to show you guys the techniques you need to make your website work. These are all the techniques that I could think of to make my website work. Hopefully it's helped you guys. If you want to play around with stuff, just go to insert, choose something you want to insert and just play around with it and see how it works. If it doesn't work the way you want, undo it and try something else, right? So hopefully I've given you a good enough breadth of techniques that you can use to make your website. Again, it doesn't need to be very detailed. I prefer the Dreamweaver route or the W3 Schools route, because if your work is to be sent off to the examiner, you most likely will have to send the files that you created your website with as well. So the HTML file, the images, the audio files, video files, you'll probably have to send all of that off. Whereas if you use something like Wix, as I've mentioned, not WordPress, Wix, WordPress, Squarespace, any one of these online website builders, you 99% of the time you don't get files to download that's easily transferable. Whereas Dreamweaver, you've made it on your PC, it will work away from the internet regardless of what browser you're using in most cases. That's why I prefer this method. I'm doing this on the fly with you guys, so bear with me if this video or my videos don't seem very well organized. I'm just going to do stuff as I think I need to. So let me just go ahead and insert a table again. I'm using tables for everything, which is probably not the best again. I'm going to do 2 rows, 2 columns. Yeah, that seems all right. What I'm going to do is
Testing, microphone working. Yep.
let me
Well,
pause
hello.
that. I'm going to move this inside of here. So podcast 1 can go here. Podcast 1. And this side can be podcast 2. And what I'll do, I'll move this thing inside there. So podcast 1 is going to go underneath here. Podcast 2 is going to go underneath here. I haven't recorded podcast 2 yet, so let me just grab this first. I think that's all I need. And let's paste it in this one there. So let's paste. Oh, no, not like that. Click down here. Paste.
Testing, microphone working.
Yeah, that works fine. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this one. Now, just for the purpose of this, you know what? Let me just record another one. There's no downside. So let me close this one. Let me do new. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Welcome. Grand Theft Auto 6 is finally here. It's the best game in the entire world. Wonderful, amazing game. It's going to be, the online is going to be free for Xbox and PlayStation 5, and also PC. The story mode is what you're going to have to pay for. So Rockstar has recently, for Red Dead 2 and for Grand Theft Auto 5, separated the online from the story mode. And I'm guessing that's what they're going to do for this new one as well. So stay tuned. It's going to be a wonderful game. Blah, 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 blah. All right. I've recorded my podcast. Let me amplify the audio again. Double click on it. Go to effects. Go to amplify. Again, you don't have to follow my steps. Do whatever works for you. If you want to do it on your phone, that's probably easy for most people. But just maybe know that you probably want to have a screenshot of that so that later on when you're speaking about the creativity and how creative you were, you can screenshot that. Oh, look, I actually went ahead and recorded my own podcast audio to put onto the website rather than simply downloading something from the internet. I went ahead and learned how to do it myself. Okay, let me save the project as it is first. Yes. Podcast number 2, I'm going to save this one as, let me rename this one actually. Podcast 1. Okay, it's not going to work. Let me ignore that. Let me just rename this one as podcast 2. Save. Now this is saved as an Audacity project. I want to export it as a WAV file. So I'm going to go to export. I'm going to go to WAV. And I'm going to choose podcast. Let's change this to 2, podcast 2. Click save and OK. And that's it. This is a very small one, so it shouldn't take long at all. I'm going to do the MP3 one straight away as well. Just again to compare the size, and show you guys that there's a massive difference in size. 1A, let's call this one 2A. Let's click OK. All right, that's finished. I'm going to close Audacity down. I don't need this open anymore. Let's just click no on that one for now. I'm going to go to my folder here. GTA website, audio, podcast 2 is 4.92 megabytes, so 5 megabytes. Podcast 2A, 1 megabyte. So again, 5 times larger. Massive difference. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to copy my podcast over here. So what I can do, let me cheat a bit. Let me just copy the paragraph tag. So let's move this one down. Let me just grab the stuff I need. Yep, that's the paragraph tag there. I'm going to click in this box over here. Where does that end up on this side? Actually, I have no idea. I think it's somewhere along here. Let's try that one.
Testing, microphone.
Yeah, more or less, just not in the right position. But again, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it exactly how it is. The audio works. I can pause it. I can play it. I can mute it. It doesn't look neat, but that's how I want it to look originally. When I get my comments, I improve again. Okay? Not the best idea in the world. You can fix this one really easily. And you might as well, if you wanted to, that's up to you. I'm going to leave it the way it is for me.